If you're going to rebrand your esports company and your esports team, you probably don't want to do it this way. Ninjas in Pyjamas have launched a new rebranding campaign. YouTube has added a feature which people have been asking for since about like a gajillion years. Twitch apparently has a market share of about 90% of all streaming. And then Japan is looking into adding laws with copyright infringement towards cosplayers, maybe. They don't really say much, but yeah. There's a whole bunch of interesting news going on right now, so if you do want to follow the news, stick around and we're going to go through these and some more stories here on Downtime Weekly. Alright, going into the first piece of news, we're going to go to YouTube that has just announced its first clipping feature, which people have been asking for about like a trillion years. So it seems that now there's going to be some tests going on. That was a little information was sent out by Jensen from Team YouTube, where basically now you're going to be able to, do clips, just like Twitch. So the clips at YouTube are going to be super interesting because you can actually clip from 50 to 60 seconds, I believe, of the actual YouTube clip. And that will loop repeatedly, so you can send that out on all the different social medias and share your YouTube clip, but it will also embed and redirect traffic straight to your YouTube video. So that's something that we're looking forward to trying out. It's not going to be super huge, but I think if YouTube does implement this properly and makes it all like easy to use, then you'll probably be seeing a lot more people like sharing YouTube clippage on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual social media. So good job for YouTube. You finally did something that people are going to appreciate. Sam Woodhall, a YouTuber, actually went in and showed how it works since he's been allowed to test it already. And we just want to show a quick clip of that here.
This is huge, not only for big creators to create memorable pieces of content, but for smaller creators as well, because you can share moments from your live stream that can then direct people to that live stream or that VOD to create higher engagement. There's still things that we need to figure out. I don't exactly know what it's like on the creator end when it comes to clips. Can we view clips that the person has created themselves or that the community's made themselves? We don't know yet. It's still in beta, but quite frankly, this is going to be a huge deal because if it's beta, I'm looking forward to seeing what features they can add to this when it comes fully released to everybody.
And do feel free to follow his channel. We've got the link below. And now just for a quick piece of not so good news. Unfortunately, the actress Jeanette Maus, who was in Resident Evil Village, has unfortunately passed away to colon cancer at the age of 39. We just wanted to put that up there and say that, like everybody else, offering their condolences. Cancer is a shit disease, and everybody that has been affected by it, as her family is as well, it has our thoughts and prayers. My father passed away to cancer, and I hope that everyone there is doing as well as they can. And unfortunately, cancer sucks. But yeah, let's keep on with the news, yeah? Moving on from that sad piece of news, we're going to go on to Ninja Tyler Blevins, who is one of the biggest Fortnite players in the world and one of the largest streamers on the platform of Twitch. He was asked by New York Times, they had like a quick interview where they were talking about his role and his influence on streaming. We recommend everyone to read the article. It's actually really, really insightful. But we just wanted to point out one thing that actually stood out to us here, at least when we were discussing it. And when you read the article, it states as such. In the middle of the conversation, Tyler's talking to the interviewer, and then he just points out a quite interesting point. Here's another thing. How does a white kid know he has white privilege if his parents never teach him or don't talk to him about racism? If they're gaming and their first interaction with racism is one of their friends saying the N-word and they have no idea what it is, what if it was on my stream? Is it my job to have a conversation with the kid? No, because the first thing that's going on in my head is this kid is doing it on purpose to troll me. If someone says a racial slur to someone else's stream, it could potentially get the streamer banned. It's awful, but that's the first thing I think of. Which I think is really key and important, that when you are actually interacting with streamers, they are actually streaming, they're doing their thing. And it is not the streamer's role to educate children on, white privilege, all these kind of things. But they are supposed to be role models. So they kind of have to find a life balance with being a good role model, representing the best in what they do as they do it. But at the same time, he does point out something that's very, very important. A lot of the children, a lot of the people on the platform on Twitch, people that used to, be part of Ice Poseidon's Purple crew and everything else, they don't really have good interactions, apparently, with a lot of people. So, they just troll the shit out of everybody. Tyler points it out very well that it's not his job to educate people, and parents should be taking more of a consideration in towards their children's hobbies, whether it be watching Twitch streamers, whether it be interacting with other people over games. And that starts young. That starts like as soon as you get like a Nintendo Switch young for your kid, you should start like teaching them digital literacy. Because if you don't do that, you're going to have a very unfortunate situation where one day they're going to come home, they're going to drop the N-word, and you are going to be very upset thinking you probably learned it off of YouTube or somewhere else. But yeah, do read the full article. It's in the comment section below. And by comment, I mean, of course, the description. And then we're going to move on. Over a year for this? Is this a joke? What the fuck is this? One of the best logos gone away. Shit logo, absolute garbage. Change back. So on January 25th, Ninjas in Pyjamas have now announced that they're going into a new brand identity change. They have changed their logos and their fans are not happy. That's basically an understatement. Usually you see some support for teams and, you know, someone will come out on their Twitter feed and be like, hey, so you do you, ninjas, you know, it's okay. It's all good. But that wasn't the case here. If you just go through the entire Twitter profile post right now, usually you don't get to a point where you scroll down to the bottom and every single comment is non-positive. And when you click on more replies, it's still not positive. And then you see show additional replies, including those that may contain offensive content. And it's got the best comment in the world. Feels like an NA COD team. Ow. So judging by this, the rebrand isn't going super well. Knowing Ninjas in Pyjamas, the organization behind that, like they're probably going like, probably didn't hit the mark. Even though the rebranding of the Ninjas in Pyjamas logo hasn't gone too well, at least we know that the people over at Ninjas in Pyjamas have taken this seriously. They've already painted the floor on their deck. And we know that because one of the wonderful people that we know from behind the scenes, Björgard, actually posted out that she's looking forward to seeing people back in the studio. In her tweet, she shows a really nice decal of what she's actually done in the studio, or what they've done in the studio. And she wrote, one day we'll be hanging out in the NiP gaming office and watching some lovely games on our bleachers or lounging in a fat boy. Can't wait until we welcome our fans to this space we've created for them to share with us. In black and white, that logo does not look half bad. Personally, it looks like a little bit like a mess, but I'm hoping it grows on me because I mean NiP, everybody misses the old logo and it was a very unique logo. 2021, it's a time for a new beginning, right? For everything. Maybe this wasn't what people meant though, you know? All right, so just going into a little bit more nerdy news. Streamlabs and StreamHatchet have released a report where they state the following. Twitch runs 230.5 million hours of streaming content only in Q4. YouTube is doing a measly 10 and Facebook is doing 14.5. Now this is through Streamlabs and there are other people using other programs, you know, to stream and everything else. So, but the data seems kind of solid and it would be representative of what all other streaming services for gaming like combined would do. So yeah, if you're ever wondering what a major market majority share looks like, that would be it. This also means that Twitch decides every single feature implementation, how fast things go, and basically everything you're going to be seeing in the future. So until something else pops up like Mixer that isn't run by people, that all they had to do with Mixer was give people a better profit share on their subscriptions, and they would have beat it. They just missed who they're marketing it to. People that want to share their content with as many people as possible. The platform was good. It was an alternative to Twitch, and it would have like helped us have like, you know, a little bit of competition, a friendly competition would have been nice. But then again, now they're gone. So yeah, I for one salute our Purple Master Race. So for those of you that do not remember, Riot Games actually had a class action suit brought against them of people of the female nature in the offices that were actually, they had a lawsuit going on because they've been sexually harassed at work. It's been 2 years. Riot has been discussing back and forth, and apparently the settlement claim that the ladies offered were so low that now there's been an opportunity for Riot to actually go into arbitration instead. Arbitration is basically where you don't look at the entire legal lawsuit as a whole, like in a group, but basically Riot can like pay a judge, cover the costs, and then go into 1v1 settlements with each individual employee that's in the class action lawsuit. Why would they want to do this? Because they can keep it a secret, because they can pay the judge, and because they can get like a moderate advantage on making sure that the trial and the settlement goes the way they want it to. The ladies, however, want to keep it a class action suit and move forward. Right now, it's still in discussions what's going to happen, but we've got to the point where it's been 2 years. Now the decision has been made that they might be able to go into secret arbitration, but the lawyer of the female side of the case has actually gone forward and said like she really hopes it doesn't go into arbitration because this is a way that Riot can control the case and make sure that everything stays secret, where they want to bring the case forward in full and go for a full settlement as a class action lawsuit. So we're gonna see what happens there, and hopefully the culture at Riot Games has changed now that they've had this come out, and if not, then hopefully some people get fired in the future. Alright, so the next piece of news comes from the world of cosplay. This is super interesting for everybody that cosplays and also people that are just interested in copyright, video games, and their favorite characters. And cosplay is a worldwide phenomenon that a lot of people participate in, where they dress up as their favorite characters. They go to conventions, they have fun, they do a whole bunch of stuff. Now the Japanese government is looking at new laws to help improve the situation between cosplayers and copyright. All in all, the world kind of agrees that cosplay is a hugely awesome hobby and people should have the right to do it. Then there are those cosplayers that get paid to cosplay. They have an industry, they sell photos, they brandish the characters, they get invited to events as the characters. They make income off the characters. And Japan has been trying to figure out how to tackle that for a while. And now it seems that they're going to get to it. So, reading the article that we found here on Crunchyroll, it states, first of all, in the headline, Japanese government is looking into new copyright regulations for cosplay. With cosplay becoming more and more popular and more people earning money from their cosplays, the Japanese government has decided to look into new rules and regulate cosplay disputes between cosplayers and IP owners. In the article, it states that some lawmakers, especially one called Taro Yamada, has been looking into a situation where cosplayers that want to make money off the cosplays that they make should be able to contact easily the creators of those characters. And now what's happening is Taro Yamada has now suggested a database where cosplayers can easily find the creators of all the characters and ask them for permission to make money off of their characters. And this is not just Japan relevant. Mind you, they want to do this worldwide for cosplays that are generated in Japanese companies. Yeah, no, there's like too much to talk about, but hopefully cosplay will be safe for everybody to keep pursuing as a hobby, which is what they say in the article, so don't freak out. This is only something that might affect the people that do make a lot of money cosplaying, and at the same time, a lot of people that I know that are high level don't make generally their money off of cosplay. They do have cosplays from games and from series that they do, but they make their money off of other passive sources of income, like their YouTube channel, their tutorials, and things like that. So they should be in the clear. But if you do make money off of your cosplay, you might want to keep an eye on this one. Top cat. Does it help if I do it into the microphone?